I don't think you're ready for this, Jelly. I'm so sorry.
Guys,
Adam, this is worse than last time.
Guys, are you ready for this jelly?
I think I'm going to be crazy in love with it.
Let's find out how good Beyonce's whiskey is.
Yes! So crazy right now.
Sir Davis Whiskey. We got Beyonce's whiskey here, imported to us specially from the United States of America. Maybe not legally, maybe legally, who knows?
Maybe.
Are we allowed to say that?
It's one bottle
It's
of whiskey.
duty free. Yeah. You didn't max your limit out, did you? I think we're okay.
Sir Davis Whiskey. This is a really, really unique bottle of whiskey. It didn't make its way to Canada. We managed to get our hands on a bottle. We're really excited about it. Look at this bottle.
Oh my god.
It's so beautiful.
Corduroy.
Look out Ryan Reynolds.
Nothing else matters. It's
Yeah.
in a gorgeous bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not allowed to say nothing else matters. That's a different lyric.
Oh,
It doesn't.
that's blackened.
yeah.
I forgot.
Never mind.
This whiskey is a 51% rye, 49% malt. I was really surprised by that.
Yeah.
She's from Texas. I expected her to make like a bourbon or Tennessee whiskey or something like that. But no, it's a rye. Apparently because Beyonce has a palate for Japanese whiskey. And so she wanted to make something on the line of a Scotch or rye.
Yep.
I don't really know how that makes any sense now that I'm saying it out loud. If you like a Japanese whiskey,
Why would you make a rye?
It came out with there was a country music album in tandem of the release.
Oh,
and rye.
Cowboy Carter is what
Cowboy
you're
Carter.
referring to.
Excuse me. And I'm a huge country music fan.
I'm more of a lemonade girl myself.
And rye whiskey is synonymous with country music. You know, more.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
Oh. I just outed myself. I'm not a country music fan at all.
Yeah, some interesting facts about this whiskey. So it's a rye whiskey, 51% rye, 49% malt. It's, and I quote, American whiskey with flavors of Scotland and Japan.
Who are you quoting? Beyonce.
It was someone for the whiskey that said that. Beyonce said it.
Yeah.
There's no E in the name of this whiskey, which is really interesting. I thought that it was an American whiskey, but because it's
Made in a
I guess
Scottish
because,
style.
yeah, like they partnered with Moët Hennessy to make this. Dr. Bill Lumsden, who oversees Glenmorangie's distilling, is the one who I think was the blender on this. So, so yeah, I guess they dropped the E because they were referencing Scotch and Japanese whiskey.
Finished in sherry casks.
Yes, American oak, finished in PX sherry casks.
Cool.
I wonder if that's the malt and the rye separately, like rye and American oak and malt and sherry. That's
Yeah, I have to guess that if it's Glenmorangie liquid for the malt, like the rye's gotta be like MGP or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
'cause
I can confirm that the rye is MGP. I don't know about
did
the
Beyonce
malt.
tell you that?
Yeah, I didn't say it was a quote, Jenna. I don't know where the malt came from, but like presumably it's American single malt.
Yes, it's American single malt. I looked through the Moët Hennessy portfolio to see which companies they own that could have made it, and the only distillery that they have in the U.S. appears to be Woodinville. So my
Well, they
guess
make
would
rye.
be that it is probably bought rye from MGP or one of the big companies like that. Yeah, $89 US per bottle. That's a lot of Canadian dollars.
It would be 70,000 roughly Canadian dollars.
Yeah, beautiful bottle. Love it. Let's stop yammering.
Try some.
Pour ourselves a dram here. Should I go to the right or to the left?
To the left, to the left.
Maybe it's not
Yeah,
right.
so they partnered with Moët Hennessy, I believe, because that's the company that her husband Jay works with.
JZ.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
He said.
When he performs in Canada, I
just
assume he
thought
uses
that
the correct
It
one.
took me a minute.
Oh man, MGP rye right off the nose.
Okay, so we've obviously cracked into this. There's a little bit missing. We maybe filmed this video and failed at it before.
It's important to
Cut
let
to
it
the
breathe.
unusable content from the last video, maybe.
The queen herself has made a whiskey. Not that queen. The real queen.
My first take on this, the first time I had it, was the nose is American whiskey, like straight off the bat.
Then it goes into like sherry, like a little bit of like oxidized sherry.
It's such a beautiful nose. I didn't really know what to expect for this whiskey. Celebrity whiskeys, like you never really know.
Yeah.
But was pleasantly surprised with this.
Yeah, this whiskey, haven't tried it yet, but I know.
Might be because of the sherry.
Or rather, I have tried it, and it is quite tasty.
You get some nice green notes, a little bit of like eucalyptus and menthol. The sherry's definitely there. The really interesting thing is on the palate, it's, to me, all Scotch. Like it's, that sweetness of the malt is there. It's quite a like clean profile.
It's approachable like American single malt is. Like when you get American single malt, often it's like, it's not offensive, but it's also not like funky or it's not peaty. It's just like...
It's 88 proof, so 44%, and it drinks relatively easy.
Yeah, I think I did comment before on this that I would have loved to see it at like 46
Plus.
to 48%. I think it would have sat, like there's a little bit of mouthfeel that you maybe have lost here. But a beautiful whiskey, like very approachable. I don't really get the like whole Japanese concept here now that I've read that, but it's so interesting to me that it's so American on the nose and then on the palate it's so Scotch to me.
The thing I get that takes me to Japanese whiskeys is the simplicity of the malt. Like those dirty Scotch flavors that come from the dirtier flavors that come from in Scottish single malt aren't really there, where you have that easy drinking, very clean Japanese flavor.
Yeah, a lot of Japanese whiskey is like very approachable in like the same way Canadian whiskey is approachable.
Almost like toasted wood note that is here that you kind of get from Japanese whiskeys that I could see.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a French oak note that comes forward, which I think is from the sherry casks, which is probably like more of a toasted or neutral
That's a very good
oak.
point. Yeah, nice one.
I really like it. It's lots of like really nice like green rye notes on the nose.
Very green and grassy, kind of finishes nice and sweet. It's very well blended.
The sherry goes really well with that vegetal note as well. You know, it kind of makes it like elevates that vegetal note.
Like it's grass up front and layers of that, and then it ends with a nice sherry sweetness and maltiness.
Lots of nice fruit on the back end.
And kind of like it leaves you in a comfortable position that most 100% or most high rye bills wouldn't.
This was one of my favorite whiskeys that I tried this year for sure, because I think just the creativity of it and like the uniqueness of it, that like the nose and the palate are so vastly different from one another. I think like 10 out of 10 for the bottle design and like packaging. And then also I just love Beyonce, so extra points for that.
And like you said too, like when you buy a celebrity whiskey, it's kind of a crapshoot. You don't know what you're paying for. Are you just paying for Beyonce, or are you paying for Beyonce's spirit? And Beyonce's spirit is really good. Yeah.
How many Beyoncés out of 5 Beyoncés would you give it, Max?
11 Beyoncés.
James?
I would give it 4 Beyoncés. Maybe...
You're not crazy in love with it?
I'm not crazy in love with it. I don't think there's anything... There's certainly nothing wrong with it.
4 Beyoncés out of 5 Beyoncés is still a lot of Beyonce.
Yeah. My question I keep coming back to is like, would I buy it for someone or would I recommend it to someone? You know, I think you should definitely try it. Give it a try for yourself. But like, it just doesn't really stand out for me. And I mean, to your point, you know, it's really interesting from like for us, for like a research perspective, having like basically 50-50 malt and rye mixed together. I don't know if I've ever had that before.
Yeah, you don't often see that.
But it's something you don't see. But I don't know if it's better for that reason either.
Yeah. Perhaps James would like it more.
It's unique for sure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe James would like it more if there were 2 others whiskeys with it and didn't think it was ready to go out on its own.
Say my name, say my name.
Michelle and Kelly, they're doing their own things now. This is just about Beyonce.
Just about Beyonce.
I would give it also 4 out of 5 Beyoncés. It's, I would say maybe the only thing it's lacking is like a little bit more flavor. I think it's a little watered down. I would say the price is maybe a little bit high. I think you're paying a lot of tax for the bottle packaging itself. I think it's a really solid whiskey. I think that there's probably people who won't try it because it's Beyonce's whiskey, and I think they're wrong. I think they should try it.
Yeah, in all seriousness as well, like this is a great whiskey. It loses a little bit on its texture, but other than that, it's a unique flavor and a unique blend that is hard to find. And it's worth trying because it's a unique product of excellent quality.
What I'd like to say is that 4 out of 5 seems like a great score. But really, it's 80 out of 100.
Yeah, that's not
and
even
I stand
A.
behind that.
That's still a great score.
Yeah.
Solid
Yeah.
B.
Absolutely.
The queen of bees.
I wouldn't give it, it's definitely not a 3 out of 5. It's a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, they did a great job.
I look forward to the cask strength version.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope there's more.
Yeah.
There's no indication of whether there's more.
There's got to be more.
Yeah.
She wouldn't let us down like that.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, everyone. Enjoy.
We were definitely ready for this jelly.
Yes!
That's the one.
Yeah.
Cut!
Done. Wrap it.